The first tool in the healing tools group is the spot healing brush, and you can find it over here below the eyedropper. It's got the little Band-Aid icon, and it removes marks and blemishes. So what's really cool about the spot healing brush tool is you don't have to set a point for it to sample from. It's just a one-click tool. I'll show you what that means. With that selected, I can just start clicking around the image to remove blemishes. This tool works pretty effortlessly. You don't have to tell it where to pull from. It makes the calculation of how to put down color, tone, and texture just by the pixels that are around the place that you click on. The best use of this tool is removing spots. That's why they call it the spot healing tool. If you try to use it on really, really big areas, it may not provide you with the level of control that you need, because larger areas of removal often need you to guide the tool in terms of where to pull from. So like if I try to remove these lines on the neck, I'm gonna before and after this. I'm not getting results that I really, really like there, so I'm gonna change the option here to texture, see if that works any better. These three options you can move between. If one is too soft or smooth, try create texture or proximity match, because they are going to preserve a little bit more of the texture. You can see create texture has created too much texture. It looks like it's maybe looking at the hair for its clone source, but I don't have any control over that with this tool. So when I need that control, that's when I move to the next tool, the healing brush tool. So notice the difference. That spot healing brush tool, that means I don't need to tell it where to sample from. The healing brush tool is kind of like a hybrid between the clone tool and the spot healing brush tool. So what you do with this one, you have to tell it where to sample from, but it's also going to do the same kind of calculations that the spot healing brush tool does. Check it out. I'll show you what that means. I'm going to tell it to sample from the neck, and that looks great. When you need that level of control, but also the help of a healing tool, that's what you're going to use, the healing brush tool. This is a really good example of a quick portrait cleanup using the healing tools. Look for distracting changes in luminosity and color that are a result of natural skin. Her skin is already near perfect, but I'll show you with before and after. Just by lightly going in and cleaning up a couple of those distracting blemishes, it lets us get more into the photograph and connect with the figure better. There's one more of the healing brush tools that I want to show you that gets really big results. It's called the Content Aware Move tool. It looks like these crossing arrows. Now, it selects and moves parts of an image and automatically fills the area left behind. What I need to do is create a selection to tell Photoshop what I want to move. And I want to use select subject. Because in an image like this, it's going to be really easy for Photoshop to figure out what the subject is. That's great. Great start with my selection. I'm going to modify this selection though, and keep in mind you can change your selection by going into Modify, Expand, and I'm going to tell Photoshop I want to expand it by 20 pixels. So look, it moves it out, expands it. You can also contract your selections by 20 pixels. And look, it moves it back. Just keep in mind you can always change your selection bigger or smaller by using those modifiers under the select menu. One more thing I want to do using the lasso tool, just grab these hairs by holding down Shift and making sure those are in my selection, because I want to move all of this stuff. Great, so I'm going to go back to the Content Aware Move tool. Oh, I see a little bit down here that I want to grab too. So with the Content Aware Move tool active, I'm going to hold down Shift and grab that too. So you see how it also works as a selection tool, much like the lasso. because you always have to bring up a selection before you use this tool to move something. And I'm going to shift her over. I held down shift because I want to just slide her horizontally, so that constrains it. Hit enter. And you can see that got pretty incredible quick results. I didn't have to do any cloning. I didn't have to cut her out and composite her. We're still on this background layer. Photoshop did almost all of the calculations that are necessary to move this object in the frame and fill in the landscape behind her. That's a huge time saver with pretty high quality results.